Hi there, this is Life Prepper here, and this article is about when to bug out, knowing the sign by Tess Pennington. It says one of the largest concerns during a disaster situation is when to leave, whether it's hurricanes, floods, chemical leaks, etc., etc. It said Hurricane Katrina and the evacuation for mass wildfires. It's talking about things in that. What it is important to listen and keep up to date on the current status of a disaster as a social whole, we have to place far too much emphasis on the government telling us when the appropriate time to evacuate. So it's basically saying is, we listen to them saying, okay, you got this hurricane coming in 4.7 or 7 whatever, it's for 24 hours from now, it's safe, but within so and so and so and so. So that's what it's talking about. We kind of count on the government too much for that. Here is some of the things. Don't be another status. In a situation where people are facing an evacuation order, time is precious. Typically, people are not ready or to bug out. For that matter, when unpreparation is coupled on the individual level and the local or federal level, it leads to breakdown that can cause interruptions in emergency response, crime waves, and disturbance in recovery plans. And we've seen that happen several times before. So, it talks about here you need a well-defined preparation plan with maps and alternative routes in place. Don't leave unless there is a plan in place. A person who is prepared to leave and has a set destination in mind is more prepared than a person who is scrambling around their home trying to find items and not even thinking about what their emergency plan will be. Have an evacuation checklist on hand. A 72-hour bag that is ready to go for the family as well as a bag for any pets. I would do more than a 72-hour bag, just to be honest with you. I would pack up some extra food and medical supplies or whatever. I would take all my prescriptions with me. I wouldn't leave any of them there. I would also have alternative herbs and things that you can use in case you run out of your medication to use to help get through. You do not know that 72 hours will be enough. It may be longer than that. It has been in some cases. It says leave as soon as possible. Do not wait until they open up the lanes to evaluate. Have some money set aside for emergency. Now, uh, anticipate the ATM machines and stuff being closed down. A lot of people don't keep money on hand. They depend on the ATM machine. So if you don't have enough money, you're kind of screwed a little bit. The problem is most people don't have the money to put to the side, unfortunately. As the economy seems to get tighter and tighter, we seem to have less and less in many cases, and people do not keep money on hand at home. They do not keep money in their billfolds. They use their debit card for everything, so that would be a bit of a problem right there. But it's true. You do need to try to keep some money on side. Make sure the bug out vehicle is well maintained. It's saying so. Basically, that's just common sense right there. Try to keep your vehicle running as good as you know. Knowledge is critical. It says awareness of the different virus forms to get the most information. Know which station on the radio has emergency broadcast station. So that is something that be aware of all that. It says every minute is critical when bugging out. If a person is not prepared, then they are losing valuable time. Using all known communication resources to get information and staying clued in will put a person at a greater advantage than those only listening to one type of communication form. Know the signs. Waiting until an evaluation order is issued is considered too late for many people who consider themselves prepared. Some signs include when people begin to buy emergency food and water supplies. Hearing the news source talk about a possible threat is time to begin preparing to leave. Seeing long lines at the bank where people are withdrawing money is a sign that something is up. Long gas line is also an indicator of people beginning to prepare for a possible evacuation. Increased military and police presence in the streets and the community. Long lines at home improvement stores for trying to buy supplies to prepare home for disasters, buying generator needs, and etc. If a person is already prepared for such a disaster, they would not have to wait in line full of stressed out people, not have to fight their way through a grocery store or get into a possible alteration trying to fill their a car with gas. Consider the dangers and know the threat. Knowing when to bug out solely depends upon the person and what they are trying to avoid. It is better to be safe than sorry. Obviously, evacuating in a high stress situation is absolutely the worst case scenario. Yet, this tends to be the norm for many people. Many play into the illusion that bad things cannot happen to them, so why bothering in planning for it? Many who will wait until the government suggests it's necessary value will have more of a chance of getting caught in mass chaos and things in that area. So this here is talking basically about say, it's a lot to think about when to bug out in events here. Uh, you're going to get caught in, mass chaos amongst unprepared and stressed out drivers, possibly face bouts of crime, leaving at the wrong time to put a person and their family into jeopardy. Seeing the signs and knowing when to bug out will play a role in evaluating safely. Do not mention giving a person the advantage of having the right mindset. Leave quickly and, more importantly, safely. And then that's something to think about right there. And also another thing to think about is I don't know whether you want to tell your neighbors you're leaving or whatever. You want to tell them they need to leave early, but you don't mean they do. And this falls into having, your things prepared and set up for it. Having extra food, extra water put up or whatever. Unfortunately, most people don't. And they even advise them. They tell them, says you need to think about it. They tell them about New York is long overdue for a possible tsunami, a possible hurricane coming their way. They don't normally have it. So, that's something to think about. Is having extra water, extra food kept up. Even if your area is really not known for all that, it's still a good thing to have on hand in case, because you don't know what's going to happen one day next. So again, like I said, it says don't be another statistic. When to bug out, knowing the signs. Well divided plan. Have, evaluation list, a 72-hour bag. You might want to think have a little bit more than that. You might want to think about also have a little extra food, maybe your meds for a whole month. Don't just take a few of your pills. Take all your meds with you, because you don't know how long it's going to take. And then you also need to learn about herbs and some other things you might want to have as alternatives to help keep the sugar or whatever under control. You need to think about all that as well. And do a little research into it and leave as soon as possible. When they talk about it coming, unfortunately, most people wait till the last minute to leave. So what happens is the roads get backed up and gets chaos. So when they get talking about it, if you're able to leave, then leave. Leave. Go ahead and travel on upward if you're able to take off. Unfortunately, most people can't do it. Most people don't have the finances to leave or the money to leave. They have to find themselves a shelter. And that's something to think on too. What are you going to be able to do in that situation? How far can you go? I mean, you're going to have to probably sleep in the car, but you know what? If you got to turn around and they're calling for it and saying they're going to be in there 24 hours, then you need to get on out of there. Try to get out of the bitch cave. But unfortunately, a lot of them just not going to be able to leave when they need to. It says knowledge is critical, so that's a lot to think about there. Know the signs. Consider the dangers and know the threats. So it's just basic simple deals here. Something to think about. Check it out. It's on Ready Nutrition here. That's what it's called. What it's called, the Prepper's Blueprint. The step-by-step guide to prepare for any disaster is what it says. The Prepper's Blueprint. So it's when to know to bug out. So this is Live Prepper here. I want you to be safe and be happy. I want all to bless y'all. And think about this.